Peace. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to a new video on the channel. Before we get into this video, we always want to give thanks to everyone that's been supporting the channel, dropping feedback in the comment section, and subscribing, liking, everything. We are in extreme gratitude for all of the love that you guys share for our videos and just the things that we have to share to the community. But without further ado, this video is going to be a special video, and it's going to be a controversial video. You feel what I'm saying? Because what we're going to talk about today is being pushed everywhere in society right now, and it's becoming a trend. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about veganism, right?
And why we don't support it, and why we would never recommend anyone to become vegan. And if you've seen any of our other videos, you might be like, wait, what? I thought you guys were vegan. We are not. We don't associate with that label. We don't eat the standard vegan diet.
No.
What we do participate in is an alkaline plant-based lifestyle.
Yes.
And that is vastly different than from what veganism is. So let's get into it. The first thing that is really important to understand is that anything that is mass marketed as healthy and being pushed on you, you have to question.
Got to.
Who is pushing this? Where is this agenda coming from?
Right.
What is the purpose of the agenda?
Right.
Who is making money off the agenda?
Right.
And subsequently, what is going to happen to my body, mind, and spirit if I participate in that agenda?
Right. And I also want to say too is I just feel like anything you do in life, you want to question it. And you always want to become a deeper thinker, because the deeper you go, the closer you're going to get to the root of what this is actually about. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times people just be like, well, it ain't that deep, or it don't got to be that deep. But when you are not thinking deep, you're thinking shallow, and you're going to miss a whole bunch of different things that are actually present, but you're not realizing because you're not thinking of the deeper things that's going on. So definitely always try to find the root of what you're doing and why you're doing it and why things are happening in society.
And this really is such a deep conversation that we can't even touch on all of it in one video, because we don't want to make this hours long. But I don't even know where to start. There's like so much to say. But one thing you have to look at is, first of all, what is the difference between vegan and plant-based, right? Plant-based means that you are eating an array of plants.
Yes.
Plants.
Yes.
Real
living things.
Living things that source created from seed.
Yes.
That were grown from light codes, aka the sun.
Ashe.
In the roots, in the soil, in with all of these living entities, right?
With the sun, all the light codes and information that's being poured into the plant from the sun, you know what I'm saying?
From water, from all of these elements that have an immense amount of information, right? When you're eating plant-based, hopefully, you are supposed to be really examining what is in the ingredients of what you're eating.
Right.
So if I'm not eating something that directly grows from the soil, like if I'm not eating a cucumber, or I'm not eating arugula, or things like that are directly grown in trees or in the soil, etc., and I'm eating something like
sun-dried tomatoes,
or something that is a little more packaged, I'm always looking at the back. The Surviving Vegan is an account on Instagram, which is kind of funny because I know her name is vegan, but she talks a lot about things that are deeper than veganism. But her go-to, her slogan is the front is for entertainment and the back is for education. And that's like one of the greatest slogans I've heard, because it's so quick and it's to the point. But you always want to look at what's in the back of the ingredients. So like he said, sun-dried tomatoes is something that eventually we just want to make ourselves. A lot of things like seasonings and all that, which I've been procrastinating on, but I want to get on, is we can only find one store that doesn't have either citric acid, which is derived from black mold, which if you check your food, if you shop at Trader Joe's, you are literally eating mold.
Yes.
Or it has garlic, and garlic is extremely acidic to the body.
It burns your cells. It literally burns. Like if you put, it was a study where they used to use garlic in war. They would put it on the edge of their blade, and they would cut people with it because it wouldn't allow the cell to repair itself because it's burning cells. Right. It's killing your cell. Like it keeps killing your cells. So it's like garlic is extremely toxic to the body. So
and I know that's a part of a lot of people's cultures. I know that's a staple food. But one thing that we have to understand is that if we truly care about holistic health, which is something we're passionate about, not looking at health from one way, but looking at it from all angles, all facets, is you don't really have to give up anything. No. You don't have to give up your favorite foods, garlic being one of them. All you have to do is open up yourself to be adjustable and pivot. So for example, we don't eat garlic, but we do make a mock garlic flavor. We have a garlic sauce that we use in a lot of our dishes. And if you're wanting to make a garlic flavoring with just seasonings, you can use 3 parts onion powder to 1 part ginger powder. You could also use a shallot and use actual ginger, and you can experiment with that, but it does give a very similar effect, similar flavor of garlic. So like I was going back to the sun-dried tomatoes, is I have looked in so many places, even the healthy, quote unquote healthy places, which again, you have to question it. Is it healthy or is it green marketing? Are they marketing it as healthy with all of the things they know about how to advertise and market us and all the things they know about psychology? Am I going to believe a Jeff Bezos who owns Whole Foods?
And you want to think about this too. It's like if they really wanted us to be healthy, we will be eating from the ground, right? We will have, gardens all around our homes. We would have
a lot of different
even
things.
Like if you think about it, like, all the fruits and vegetables, vegetables come from the ground, but fruits, they come from trees. We got trees on every block. Why don't we have female trees that are producing fruit? We have a bunch of male trees because they want to force us into the grocery store to buy from them. So,
and then on top of it, male trees give off a lot of pollen. So, people will say, oh, I have allergies. Allergies technically comes from the food you're eating, but it is an addition that these male trees give off a lot of pollen. Where if you go to other countries, the people might not have a lot of resources, but what they do have is
natural resources,
is access to fresh food because it's not just male trees that have been planted; it's female trees that are giving off fruit. So I've looked at Whole Foods, obviously Ralph's, and all the other chains, and I couldn't find one spot that had sun-dried tomatoes that didn't have citric acid or some type of preservative in it. Guar gum is another popular one, or garlic. So unfortunately, I have to go to the store that I don't like going to, Air One, because it's so ridiculous that I'm not even going to get into that. Capitalism at its finest, right there. But it's so important to look at the back of what is truly in your food. Another thing that I'm thinking about is like quinoa. We're buying quinoa from the store right now. So a lot of times these
grains,
because technically quinoa's not a grain. A lot of times they will mix other things in with it, and it won't say it on the front of the package. So they might have a quinoa mix and it has brown rice in it, it has white rice in it, which we don't eat. So it's so important that you're always looking at the ingredients, because on top of it, they don't even legally have to put in all of the ingredients. So when you see things like natural flavors as one of the ingredients, that is an automatic don't eat that.
What does that even mean?
Because they don't have to explain what natural flavors means. Did that come from a bug? Another thing too that is just wild that a lot of people can't even fathom to believe that these things are true, but plenty of companies put aborted fetuses in their food. That's not a sci-fi movie thing. Like, this is real life. And you really have to be cautious of what you are feeding, because what you're feeding yourself is information to your body. So one thing about veganism is that it does not put a spotlight on what the ingredients are. We've been to plenty of different vegan festivals and like festival type things, right? 9 times out of 10, the food that they're serving is soy, which we could get into a whole video about soy. Soy is horrible. It leads to fibroids. It can lead to all these different things for women in their reproductive system. For men, it lowers their testosterone significantly. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not eating cow milk, I'm having soy milk and this is better for me, it's really not. Am I advocating for you to have cow milk? No, because dairy is also a precursor to cancer. Carcinogenic. Right. Meat is a carcinogenic food. Right. It is a class 1 carcinogen. It literally causes cancer. Right. So does dairy. Right. And so obviously I'm not advocating for you to go against your body's natural rhythm of eating meat. No. If that's something you're interested in, like, well, what do you mean? Like, your body is naturally designed to not eat meat. Yes, if you look at our intestinal tract length compared to actual omnivores and carnivores,
their intestinal tract is 3 times longer. No, our intestinal tract is 3 times longer than an animal's intestinal tract. I don't know if you got cats, but
even more
when you feed your cats and they eat, they go shit right after they done. You know what I'm saying? They're not 3 hours, 4 hours later to use the bathroom. As soon as they eat their prey or whatever they're consuming, they use the bathroom right after, and that is a prime example of how fast they are able to digest the foods. When you eat meat, your body has a whole elimination process that it has to go through. It has to go through so many processes before you can actually poop it out. So when you're eating a lot of meat, that's why a lot of times you get this excess waste stored up in your stomach. It's not
AKA weight or fat.
Like a lot of people think that they're fat. You're not fat. You just have a bunch of shit in your body.
Yes.
And on top of that, well, you say, a person might say, like, why is my face fat? Well, why is my arm fat? Well, why is this fat? Well, the thing is, when you are putting these encumbrances in your body, you're blocking the natural flow in your body. So what happens is your body starts to create inflammation and mucus in certain parts of your body. And then what happens is your body starts to swell because now there's a blockage that's going on.
Right.
Your certain
now
things.
Your lymphatic system, which is your drainage system of the body, it's almost like the garbage center.
Right.
If your lymphatic system is backed up, you are almost most definitely going to have a mass, aka cancer.
Yeah.
You're going to have major problems going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You're going to have acne. So many things.
Goes on and on.
So that's a major one. Is there's a lot of soy. A lot of soy things. It's so many times. If you want to go to a vegan spot and they have chicken tenders, it's soy. When it could easily be a mushroom. Mushroom is the best meat replacement we have ever come across. There are thousands of species of mushrooms. There's literally a mushroom called the lobster mushroom. It looks like a lobster. It tastes like a lobster. You want a fish replacement? You can use unripe soursop. You can use for crab cakes, you can use lion's mane. You want a steak replacement, you can use portobello. You want a chicken replacement, you can use oyster mushrooms. If you want a shredded pork or shredded chicken, you can use king trumpet.
Yeah. If you want like a crab, you said crab, right?
Yeah, crab cakes like lion's mane.
You can even use enoki mushroom, and that can be like a shredded chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Or you can use that as like a noodle, like if you're making a ramen. Enoki mushrooms are really good. You can even just fry them up in a pan and just leave them like that.
Yeah.
But mushrooms are amazing. They're so versatile. And that's going to give you an immense amount of B12 and vitamin D. And the interesting thing is a lot of doctors, people that are indoctrinated, will tell you that you can't get B12 unless you're eating meat. False. Get it from your mushrooms. Another thing that I learned recently is that if you leave your mushroom out in the sun for about, I think it was 20 minutes, that the vitamin D goes up a lot. I forgot what the percentage was, but it was significant. Mm-hmm. So it's all about how you prepare the food and what is really in it.
Yeah. And you also want to think about this too, right? Like, since veganism is coming such a trend, and a lot of times people go vegan because they want to save animals, right? They want the animal. They don't want to kill.
Environmental reasons.
Environmental reasons, and that's good and all.
That's admirable.
That's a great thing. But you also want to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? How about you protect the animals and yourself? You feel what I'm saying? And you want to think about this too. Like, the most unhealthiest food chains in the world, McDonald's, KFC, Panda Express, all the fast food places that you could think of, they're offering you vegan options.
Right.
Since when did they care about your health? Since
Never.
when?
And it didn't change now. You know, a lot of times these companies are getting paid to advertise things that the higher-ups want the sheep to eat.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise, it's no coincidence that now Bill Gates, the person that wants to depopulate, that literally has said on camera that there are too many people in this world.
Yeah.
He is advocating for Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat, all of that. He's the one buying up all of this land in the United States.
Yes.
We have to really sit down and question, why would someone that thinks there's too many people in the world push something that is healthy? Have you ever looked at the ingredients on Impossible Meat and Beyond Meat?
Oh my God.
Now let's go back to what I said about being plant-based. Things are from the soil. They are made from God, source, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
This shit is made in a lab. This is artificial. This is not even food. It's food-like. When you eat Doritos, you're not eating food, bro. You're eating food-like ingredients.
Man.
When you're eating 95% of the things at the store, you are not eating food. 95% of the food in the store was not even there 100 years ago. So people will make these comparisons that are not equal. People will say things like, well, my grandma lived until she was 100 and she ate meat and she ate dairy. Yeah, she was eating a vastly different diet than what someone today, if they're eating meat and dairy, are eating. They were getting milk delivered in glass bottles. Now we have microplastics in our blood because of all the plastic that's wrapped around this bullshit.
Plastic everything. Everything is in a plastic covering with some fine packaging on it. It's beautiful.
And
packaging.
They use the colors to attract you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, red is in every fast food logo.
Why?
Because that's your lowest chakra. It's the lowest frequency. So it's bringing you in. It's addictive. You really have, like, these people are way smarter than what we give them credit for.
Right.
They might play it like they're dumb and they don't know what they're doing. No. This is an agenda, okay? They spend billions of dollars on these things. Billions. They are far from stupid. They are calculated. And part of their calculation is trickery and tricking you into thinking that they are dumb. Oh, no, we would never believe that so-and-so would do that. They don't know that.
It's magic.
They know.
They know a lot. You know what I'm saying? And like she said, a lot of these Beyond Vegan foods, not Beyond Vegan, these, Beyond Meat, Beyond Meat foods and soy-based foods and vegan foods, a lot of them, like she said, they have so many goddamn ingredients. Like, the ingredient list goes on for days. And on top of that, you don't even know how to read the ingredients because you don't even know what this is. You never even heard of it before.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And on top of that, like, how long is this shit sitting in the market for? Anything that's fresh from nature, once it has been out for a certain time, it has an expiration date. It's not going to last you no longer than 4 to 6 days.
And
max.
That's why they dye a lot of the food you see in the grocery store. The milk is dyed white. The meat is dyed because these things are literally dead. Okay, these animals are dead. Every single thing carries a frequency, right? It carries a vibration. So you can measure the vibration of your food in, what is it called? Angstroms? when you look at an apple, it has a certain angstrom, right? It has a certain frequency.
Right.
Kale, arugula, quinoa, so on and so forth. What does a dead chicken have? 0.
A Dorito. Or
So going back to how we are wildly different than a carnivore or an omnivore, there are so many things that you can look at in our physiology, in our anatomy, that show us that we are not aligned with that type of lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Now, thousands of years ago, depending on where your ancestors are from in the world, they had to do what they had to do to survive.
Right.
Okay? Today, we don't have to do that.
No.
We have choices. And if we're choosing to eat things that are dead, then how is that energy affecting us? The energy of that dead animal is now inside of you. So when it was killed and it was scared and it was angry and it saw its mom get slaughtered, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So now that energy is transferred to you, and now you wonder why you have low vibrational thoughts. You wonder why you don't love yourself enough. You wonder why you have constant anxiety.
Stressed.
You wonder why you can't shit. You're eating 3 meals a day. That's 21 meals a week. And you're pooping what? 2 to 3 times a week, if that?
If that.
You got meals on meals on meals stuck in your intestinal tract. So like he was saying, a carnivore, their intestinal tract is extremely short compared to the length of their body.
Right.
Our intestinal tract is ginormous. So literally, if you're eating meat, it's taking so long to process through the intestinal tract that it's literally rotting away. Yeah. And that's why when you shit, it smells horrific. You're not supposed to smell. If you're...
Can I just say this one thing? It's crazy. Because, like, we literally are taught that shit's supposed to stink. But,
or your underarms.
Or whatever. But the moment that we transition into eating healthier food, eating more plant-based food, fasting,
Alkaline.
Taking detoxes,
yes.
Transition into almost like a 90% alkaline diet. Mm-hmm. When we use the bathroom, it doesn't stink. And when it does stink, then that means that we need to detox too, because you can eat healthy all day, but the way this world is set up, that it's so toxic that even if you eat healthy, you still are going to get sick, because the environment is sick.
Especially in the United States.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The environment is causing sickness. Everything, food is a huge part of your health, but the environment plays a whole nother aspect, a part of it too, because it affects the way your cells, react. You feel what I'm saying? So like, even though we eat plant-based, you still have to detox. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And then when you change your diet, your poop is going to stop stinking. You feel what I'm saying? Your underarms are going to stop stinking. A lot of things are going to start changing. You feel what I'm saying?
And for women, if you're getting constant yeast infections, you have BV, you have an odor down there, that is an indicator that something is off. That's not something to just push to the side. This is especially if it's something that's reoccurring. A lot of women get reoccurring yeast infections.
Right.
You really need to examine, what am I eating? Mm. What am I putting in my mouth? Mm. Who are my sexual partners? And herbs. One thing that I can really say, I know this is like kind of all over the place because it's just so much information.
It's a lot.
But one thing I can say is that when we transitioned into alkalinity and really following a lot of Dr. Sebi's teachings, listening to Yahkia, what's his name? Mucusless diet system? Ehret?
Arnold Edward.
Ehret?
Arnold Edward.
No, not Edward.
It's Arnold Edward. Yes, it is.
Not Edward.
Ehret.
Ehret. Something like that. I'm gonna put it up here so you guys can see. When we started really trying what they were saying and experimenting on ourselves and not just listening to people just because, we think they know.
Right.
We truly felt differences in every facet of our life.
Yeah.
But the thing about veganism is that it only tells you about food. That's it. And it won't even tell you the truth about the food. It'll say, this is healthy, it's good for the environment, it's good for this, when in reality you're eating artificial things and blah, blah, blah. But when we dove deeper, we realized that it's not just about the food. Mm-hmm. Are we fasting? Mm-hmm. And you can fast in many different ways. You can do a juice fast, a water fast, a raw fast.
Yeah.
Are we detoxing?
Yeah.
I'm going to put in the description a detox that we get from Ancient Artery that we love. And it's a really easy detox, especially if you're a starter. I really recommend this detox.
I just did the detox 5 days ago.
He's actually on a fast
right now.
And
I'm on a fast right now. I haven't eaten in 3 days. A lot of people think they can't fast, but I mean, a lot of people think that they're supposed to eat every day, but we're not supposed to eat every single day. We need when you fast, it gives your body time to regenerate. Our bodies are constantly working. Even when you sleep, your body is not asleep. You're consciously somewhere else, so you're resting, but your body is getting time to rejuvenate itself. And if we keep feeding our bodies all the time, then there's no time to repair. It just has to work. It's the same thing as sleep. When you stop eating food, you allow your body to rest and restore. You know what I'm saying? So I know that food is delicious, and food is, we have an emotional connection to food. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot deeper than, just not eating. You're going to go through so many things. You're going to realize how many things that your body is addicted to when you start to fast. And you're going to learn. It's going to create a lot of discipline. But like she said, I'm on a 3-day fast.
And then the last thing I was going to say is that we incorporated herbs. I didn't grow up knowing anything about herbs.
Me either.
A lot of us think that we can go to the grocery store and get tea, herbal teas. That's bullshit. There's billions of microplastics in the tea bags. You don't know where they sourced the herbs from. You don't know if they're organic.
Right.
So when we started incorporating herbs, that was another major layer of expanding and connecting with our vitality.
Right.
I can remember, I have a blend that I got. We go to this
Apothecary.
we go to this apothecary called Nappily Naturals in Lamert Park in Crenshaw, and they have a whole lot of herbs. I definitely recommend it if you're in LA. You can also order online. I will put all this information in the description. But I remember the first time I took this tea, it was a female reproductive tea. It has Don Quai, red raspberry. I'm blanking. I'll put it all below. I can't remember. But I remember literally the first time I drank it, I could feel the herbs working their magic almost instantaneously. And I could feel it specifically in my reproductive region. And I was like, damn, I've never felt this before. Like, I know something magical is going on in my body right now.
Right.
Herbs are so amazing. If you have never gotten into herbs, I'm going to link my video on my personal channel where I talked about an intro to herbs, how to get into it, because I know there's so much to learn.
Right.
But if you can go to a local apothecary, get some burdock root, get some sarsaparilla, get whatever you need for your specific body, but those are some staple herbs, nettle,
blue vervain,
marshmallow root, butterfly pea tea,
sarsaparilla.
That's like a lot, some good ones. But herbs are really, really important and should be incorporated into your weekly routine. And if you're dealing with something in particular, then get an herb for that specific case.
Right.
So basically what I'm trying to say with all of this is that veganism is very one-dimensional. It focuses on food, and even when it does focus on food, they're lying to you and they're not telling you the consequences of eating artificial, lab-made things.
Everything in life is energy, right? You need to understand that everything is the same. We're all just energy. And that energy can be high and it can be low. You feel what I'm saying? So when you're eating food, you're not just eating food for your taste buds. You're eating it for the energy. And if you're eating food that's not feeding you energy, it's taking away your energy, right? And energy carries information. It's telling your body what to do when you eat it and when you digest it. So you need to be careful, the return that you're getting on the foods that you're ingesting in your body. So
really at the core of why we don't support or recommend veganism is because it is merely an agenda that is being pushed by the elites for us to further disconnect with our natural ways. And it's fake food, it's artificial. Most of it is grown in a lab. It's a lot of packaged and processed food. And
it's just extremely toxic to the body.
it is in so many ways. And it really just, it furthers us from holistic health. And we are not supposed to just be focused on one thing. It's not just, oh, I just am really good at eating healthy food. I'm just really good at working out. I'm just really good at meditating. These things are all interconnected.
Right.
Our spirit is being affected by what we put in our mouth. The same way that it's being affected by what you watch on TV and what kind of music you listen to and who you hang around. All of these things this is holistic living. This is really examining each component of your life and asking yourself, is this serving me or is this hindering me?
Right.
Is this longevity or is this an addiction?
Right.
Because like you said, a lot of us are literally, sugar is more addictive than cocaine. They put sugar in everything.
White sugar, because we actually need sugar. Our bodies,
But fruit sugar. A lot of people will then go on this other wavelength, this other conversation of, well, you can't have too much fruit because there's sugar. It's natural sugar.
Right.
Okay? We was just watching a live of Yahkia, which is someone I really recommend looking into, especially if you're melanated, because he goes into the differences of people that are melanated and how their lifestyle needs to be slightly different because we are different beings.
Right.
And he was going into, he's healed a lot of people.
Right.
One of them being people with diabetes with an all fruit diet. Not fruit juice, but fruit, actual eating the fruit. Another, like when we was reading the Mucusless diet system with Arnold Ehret, however you say his name, he talks a lot about fasting with grapes, seeded grapes. That's another thing about veganism, is they're not going to tell you that they're taking out the seeds, the most nutrient part of this food, the part that allows you to recreate it. Where are the seeds? Make that make sense. How are we eating fruit that doesn't have seeds?
Because it's not real.
How are they making cotton candy grapes? Because it's not real. It was so hard for us to find seeded grapes for the longest time because they don't want you to be in close proximity with health.
No, because it's a trillion, multi-billion, killion, gazillion, fillion industry. All right? So
the more you eat vegan food, the more you're going to need to go to the doctor, and then you're going to need to go on medication, and then you got to have this surgery, and then this, that, and the third, because all of it is connected. They're making money from you on every single angle, and we will not allow them to penetrate our vitality.
No. And, I feel like even when you do start to transition or you open into transition into a more healthier lifestyle, you want to go plant-based, you want to learn about alkalinity, it's going to be challenging, you know what I'm saying? Because majority of the people in the world are not on this type of wavelength. You feel what I'm saying? And they're going to encourage you to stay the same. They're going to encourage you to be a part of the herd, be a part of the sheep. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like when you really look at life, it's like we're on our production line. Like we're all being processed through this way of living. Mm-hmm. And when you disconnect, it's like everybody looks at you like you're crazy because you're going against this unnatural way of living that we think is natural because it's common. You feel what I'm saying? So take your time and do it for you. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times when we became vegan, everybody goes through it. It's like once you get this knowledge, you want to teach it to everybody. You want to tell everybody. You want everybody to know because why? Because you have a heart and you have love and you have compassion. You want to see people in a better light. But
and we have an ego that needs to be loved on. It's both. That
too, for sure. So it's like, do it for you and focus on your road and your journey. You know what I'm saying? And let your light inspire other people. don't try to put your light on other people because they not going to want to see it even if you wanted them to. Because they got to want it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's it.
And we are our own testimonials.
Right.
We went from eating a standard American diet, meat, dairy, sugar, processed food, all the junk, to then being vegan and eating vegan junk food and shopping at Trader Joe's and eating all this frozen processed food
all
and
these
things
vegan restaurants.
Like Trader Joe's is whoever their marketing team, they are skillful. They have convinced everyone on TikTok that they are healthy.
Right.
It is not. Look at the ingredients. Look at the ingredients.
That's it.
Look at the ingredients. Majority of things in Trader Joe's are not organic. That's another thing. What are they spraying on the food? That's why we get 95% of our food from farmers markets, straight from the farmer. You want the process of it being harvested to on your plate to be as short as possible. So we are our own testimonials. Our lives have changed in every way for the better since we have incorporated holistic health. We have lost waste.
Ooh.
We have had our sex life increase.
Yeah.
Our skin has increased.
Yeah.
Our mental clarity has increased.
Yeah.
How we go to the bathroom there's much more flow.
Our attraction has increased. And I ain't even just talking about physically.
Right.
The people that we attract in our lives are better.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? Even just the experiences that we attract. Everywhere we go, we're always being fed with love. And sometimes we met with, nonsense. But for the most part, the people that we attract into our life, they bring us something positive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you make that change, you'll start to see everything change.
Right.
Everything will change. Because like we said, everything is connected. You know what I'm saying? So don't listen to nobody tell you that you ain't going to get protein anymore once you go plant-based.
Oh my God.
Right? Don't listen to them. Don't.
I hear the protein myth. Listen. Your body does not need excess protein. It needs amino acids.
The building blocks of protein.
Stop with the pre-workout shit. Stop with all these people that make money off of selling you things. Enough. With the motherfucking partnerships on TikTok of Bloom. And bro, stop eating that shit.
It's killing you.
Stop it. They are making money off of you. They have no integrity. They're not like all these influencers. You think they go and, you know what? I don't think I should sell this because this is not super healthy.
They just got paid $10K.
They got a check. They don't give a fuck. They have no integrity. We're not making money right now off of telling you this.
No.
We literally just care about our community.
And on top of that, this puts us in jeopardy. So, I mean, let's be real. Even though this platform, you can get monetized, you can get paid for, views, but putting this type of content is controversial to the guidelines of YouTube, because YouTube only wants us to promote certain things. So, we are telling you this information because we know that it's real and we know that it's true and we know that it is going to help uplift the vibration on the planet. Right? So we appreciate every single body that, stayed to the end of the video and heard.
And since you did stay to the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys a little present.
Right.
Okay? I know earlier in the video I was talking about how our anatomy and our physiology is not in line to eat meat.
Right.
And that's a very controversial topic. But it's something that we truly need to understand for ourselves. And that's one thing that I go into in my ebook, which is called The Seed.
Bro,
where
check her ebook out. Check it out, bro.
It's 60 plus pages.
But it's short though. 60 pages, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's like a short book, but it's a simple but in-depth guide to someone that is looking to start their health journey.
Right.
Not with food, not just with this, all-encompassing. It's the spiritual aspect, it's the food aspect. I give recipes, there's herbs, there's resources. And because we're going to drop this on the 25th, I'm going to give you guys 25% off. I'm going to put the code down below. It's going to be Let's Get Healthy. Because when you get healthy and raise your vibration, you are also raising the planet's vibration.
Right.
And you are also positively affecting the people that you come in contact with.
Right.
And for me, this is really about reverting back to our natural ways.
Right.
No matter where you are from ancestrally, when we look back thousands of years ago, something that we all had in common is that we were living more from the earth.
Right.
We were living more naturally. We were taking in natural substances. We were meditating more. We were more connected to the stars, to our spirit guides, to our ancestors, and so on and so forth. So this is really a journey into yourself, and there's so much to say, but that's where I'm gonna leave it at right now.
Right. So we appreciate everyone that tuned into this channel, that tuned into this video today. And we know for a fact y'all got a lot of things to think about and to question and to, maybe implement in your life and see the positive change for yourself. Don't let us just speak about it.
Right.
You see if it works for you.
And if you already are someone that's on your journey of health and, spiritual connectivity, let us know in the comments how your life has changed.
Right, come on, let's build it up. Somebody tell us what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? Because we a testimony, but I know it's a lot of people that's watching this video that got a story too. Mm-hmm. So share that in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.